Chair.
No, I can't see the room, so it'll be difficult for public comment.
All right.
Thank
We are-
you.
So can she appoint somebody, or does it have to go through Cyril?
You should move for a chair pro tem.
I would move that Councilor Fornia be the chair pro temp for this evening's meeting.
A second.
Do we need a roll call vote?
Yes.
There's a remote, yes, remote person.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Mallon?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes,
6 yes, 0 no.
Great. I think I'll say thank you.
All right.
As always, when we start, well, I should say, welcome. This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Bangor City Council. Today is January 13th, 2025. It is 7:31. And as always, we start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I will ask Michael Norton to lead us in the
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Michael. This is a portion of the meeting set aside for public comment for concerns related to city business. Public comment, whether in person or via Zoom, requires a person to state their name and whether you are a resident of Bangor. Obscene and threatening and overly repetitive remarks will be interrupted and removed, as will disruption and disorderly behavior that interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. Council Chair has a discretion over the time allowed for public comment. Historically, we've been using the 3-minute limit as far as personnel goes, as far as people speaking. That will be in place tonight. Personal complaints pertaining to alleged misconduct of an individual employees are handled through a different and confidential process and will not be entertained by the council and public. Per Maine law, complaints of misconduct are generally entitled to confidentiality and handled in executive session. Public comment period is for city council members to listen. It is city council's practice to not respond or debate with persons during the public comment period. If a comment requires additional action, it will either be taken up by a city council committee or followed up on by an appropriate city staff member. If you do not live in Bangor or own a property in Bangor, please allow those who do live and own property in Bangor to have the opportunity to speak first. If you would like to offer comment on any item related to city business not appearing on the regular agenda, you may approach the podium on Zoom. The public can be recognized to speak by utilizing the hand raise function or on the phone by pressing *9. I'll open up the public comment.
Hillary Simmons, resident of Bangor. I'm just going to speak in regards to the proclamation that was supposed to be given tonight. Seems contradictory to promote Bangor as a welcoming, supportive community while limiting citizens' opportunity to speak during public comment. Open dialogue is essential for fostering an inclusive environment where everyone feels heard and valued. By restricting public participation, it undermines the very essence of community engagement and can lead to feelings of alienation among residents. Exploring ways to enhance communication and transparency could help align Bangor's actions with its proclaimed values. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Michael Norton, 5555 Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, California. There were some forest fires in Canada 2 to 3 years ago, wildfire outbreaks. And there are wildfire outbreaks in Los Angeles this past week. And I think it's too bad, before I get there, to see that the new health leader of Bangor, Maine, leaves even before city council meeting. But anyway, Maine has a contiguous relationship with Canada. And the fire protection services and equipment and design is terrible across the board. It's really not evolved or innovated like social media would be considered by our media and journalists. It's really far behind, and I don't think it's right. I don't think we should try anymore to put out fires with money. I think we should apply water management services to fire protection and emergency workforce protection, continued learning services. The 25, 60, and 90, and 125 gallon per minute fire hose and the fire truck in America has about 40 minutes at maximum before it's out of its weaponry to fight a fire, whether it's large or small. And the smallest fires, I would like to say, are those in human beings, such as Parkinson's patients and cancer patients, etc. But the same principle of displacement and targeting of water applies at large and small scales.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else?
Good evening, my name is Winter Lowe, I'm a resident of Bangor. I'm here tonight to speak on homelessness in Bangor. I laud the city's outreach efforts. It is quite rare when morality and politics align like they do with Housing First programs. I understand the city has a lot of challenges right now, but we, the community, were told repeatedly prior to turning people away from the Hope House encampment that next time we would be prepared to handle it better. And next time is now. Does the council even know where the current generation of Tent City is? I know it exists. I don't know though. A neighbor of mine was evicted this morning. The last time I spoke with her, she didn't know where she was going. There are people who entered the local shelter system last February who did not get to celebrate New Year's Eve because they were in the shelter, waiting for housing to open up. Perhaps the city should be doing more, or perhaps we're doing as much as we can. But from my perspective as someone who was homeless in Bangor, that I think the council is burying its head on the problem. During lockdown, the housing crisis was predicted to increase through 2025 as a result of the pandemic. We're still inside that window, and punishing our neighbors and our friends simply because it isn't 1994 anymore is pathetic. The council must engage with the city as it currently exists. Because of the chaos of the next 4 years isn't going to make your jobs any easier. The unhoused will be where there are hospitals, where there are grocery stores, where there are jobs. That's here. I can't get comprehensive mental health care in Guilford. That isn't how the world works. And why would you expect that of anyone else? We need more housing. It's not here yet. Unless the council is about to reveal an underground bunker with 200 apartments in it. But expecting the unhoused to go back to where they came from is like barring that door and telling the council to go back to City Hall. It's not right. It's not the right time yet, and the conditions aren't right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
Suzette Furrow, I'm a resident of Bangor. I just wanted to point out that at the Advisory Committee on Racial Equity and Inclusion and Human Rights, the meeting that was held on December 18th, there was not a quorum, and yet the meeting was still held, and it went on for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So I believe if these committees follow Robert's rules, the only motion that can be made when there's not a quorum is for adjournment. So I just wanted to point that out, that it did go on. There were 3 city employees at that meeting, went on for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I could add some point of clarification to that. There was no business conducted at that meeting, therefore it was open to the public and there were no decisions made.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, consent agenda.
Minutes of City Council meeting of December 23rd, 2024, and Finance Committee meeting of December 16th, 2024. 25-043, order appointing constable for the year 2025. 25-044, order appointing nominees to various boards, commissions, and committees. 25-045, order appointing code enforcement officers, electrical and plumbing inspectors for the city of Bangor.
Move passage of the consent agenda. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Mallard?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Consent agenda has passage. Referrals to committee and first reading.
25-046, resolve accepting and appropriating $6,731,241 in additional construction funds from the National Guard Bureau for the Runway Rehabilitation Project at Bangor International Airport and execution of a cooperative construction agreement, first reading. 25-047, resolve accepting and appropriating $35,698 in funds from the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program for purchase of an electric vehicle and electric vehicle charger, first reading.
Move the referral to committee and first reading, these 2 items. Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Mallard?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
These are referred to committee. Unfinished business.
25-039, ordinance amending Article 2, Section 9-19 of the Code of the City of Bangor, regular meetings, to change the time of regular council meetings from 7:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Councilor Fournier.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This ordinance will set the time of regular council meetings at 7, this is a typo, should that be AM? This change was discussed and supported during the December 9th City Council workshop. The intent of this earlier start time is to be more responsive, timely, and accessible to those attending City Council meetings for the conclusion of their business as well as to our residents. As an ordinance, it requires first and second reading and a 10-day delay after passage to become effective. If this change moves through the process without delay, the first meeting at which it will become effective would be January 27th of this year. This item was reviewed at the Government Operations Committee meeting on January 13, 2025. I'd be happy to accept the motion.
I would move passage of ordinance 25-039.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? You sure that wasn't a typo? AM? No. All right. Roll call vote?
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Mallard?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
The ordinance 25-039 has passage. New business.
25-048, order authorizing execution of an option agreement with Developers Collaborative Pre-Development LLC for the acquisition of a city-owned property on Grandview Avenue. Councilor Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This order will authorize the city manager or her designee to execute an option agreement with Developers Collaborative Pre-Development LLC to acquire a city-owned property on Grandview Avenue. On October 28, 2024, the City Council adopted Council Order 24-358, which authorized the city manager to commence negotiations with Developers Collaborative to plan, develop, and construct mixed residential housing targeting persons and families with incomes at 80% to 120% of area median income. The option agreement is the first step in the process that allows Developers Collaborative to demonstrate site control for the purpose of pursuing permanent funding for the development. The option must be exercised by April 30th, establishes the purchase price of $1, reflects the city's commitment of ARPA funding for infrastructure work, and will allow for a phased development and the negotiation of a development agreement, which will be subject to City Council approval. This project has been discussed at various City Council workshops and committee meetings. This action is reflective of the City Council's commitment to continue and build upon prior efforts to increase the opportunities for all residents to have access to quality housing that meets their needs. I would move order 25-048.
I second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Miller?
Yes.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Order 25-048 has passage.
25-049, order declaring the 2024-2025 City Council year's priority to be the year of building, a commitment to housing, economic development, relationships, and more. Councilor Beck.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This order will establish the 2024 to 2025 City Council year as the year of building. During the annual priority setting session and subsequent workshops, the City Council discussed and indicated a desire to prioritize building and expanding upon the progress to date as it relates to housing, economic development, relationships, and more. Last year, significant progress was made to increase the opportunities for all residents to have access to quality housing that meets their needs, which enhances well-being and economic vitality, all of which support the creation of a more vibrant and inclusive community. While the process to create more housing opportunities can be lengthy, the City Council is committed to continuing to take the required actions that will positively impact the future. Economic development has a ripple effect, which can positively impact many aspects of our community, including increased employment opportunities and household income, investments in infrastructure, health and well-being, and innovation and technology, increased tax revenues, as well as the cultural, social, and environmental benefits. The City Council has identified 3 areas that are well positioned for economic development, including the Bangor Mall, downtown areas, as well as city-owned development parcels, all of which will be emphasized in the coming year. Local government plays a vital role in the daily lives of our constituency. Local elected officials and city staff are more accessible to residents. As members of the community we serve, we have a deeper understanding of the unique needs, challenges, and strengths of the city. We are responsible for providing essential services, encourage and facilitate public participation in the decision-making process, and can be more flexible and responsive to changing conditions. As many issues transcend local and state boundaries, ensuring the city cultivates and fosters relationships with other levels of government, businesses, and organizations is imperative to support an alignment of policies. It is also important for an effective and equitable distribution of resources, the development and implementation of comprehensive solutions, policies, and programs, as well as public trust and confidence. By establishing 2024 to 2025 as the year of building, the City Council has committed to investing in today and the future. This item was discussed at the City Council workshop on December 9th, 2024. Mr. Chairman, I move passage of this order.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilor Beck?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Hawes?
Yes.
Councilor Mallon?
Yeah.
Councilor Pelletier?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Order 25-049 has passage. That brings us to the end of the meeting. Staff, any comments?
Just the wave. The wave all around.
Councilor Mallard, comments? Good night. Councilor Fish?
Good night.
Councilor Hawes?
Good night.
Councilor Pelletier?
Just to say how excited I am to see the order for the development on Grandview Avenue go through. That is going to be a really innovative project. City staff has worked very hard to get us to this point, and it's exciting to see it start to come to fruition. So I was thrilled to vote yes on that tonight. With that, good night. And well done chairing. Thank you so much for taking my place tonight, Councilor Fournier.
Thank you. Councilor Beck?
I would say I'm excited about the year of building, and I encourage the public to definitely get involved, help us out, contact us, keep us informed of your ideas, and it's going to be a great year for council. Thank you.
Councilor Dean?
Good night, Bangor.
I still think that's a typo,
7 a.m.
but I guess we'll be here at 7 p.m. on the 27th. So with that, I will say good night and see you later.